In a pivotal moment for one of the most horrifying chapters in Mexico's drug war, Mexican prosecutors secured convictions on Wednesday against 11 members of a drug cartel, sentencing them to 50 years in prison for their roles in the brutal 2010 to 2011 massacre of 122 innocent bus passengers. These passengers were abducted, forced to engage in lethal battles using sledgehammers, and subsequently buried in mass graves in the northern border state of Tamaulipas. The full scale of the atrocity was only confirmed after forensic teams uncovered multiple unmarked graves containing scores of bodies, most of them young men, their skulls shattered by blunt force. Among the remains, sledgehammers were found, a chilling confirmation of the cruel method of execution the Zetas cartel employed. The 11 convicted men, who were apprehended between 2015 and 2017, have been held in custody for years as their lengthy trials proceeded through the Mexican legal system. The drawn-out nature of these trials, lasting anywhere from 7 to 9 years, underscores the challenges faced by the judiciary in dealing with cases tied to organized crime in Mexico. The massacre's origins date back to a time when the Zetas cartel, a now fragmented criminal organization, dominated the region around the town of San Fernando, Tamaulipas. The Zetas, fearing that their rivals in the Gulf cartel were dispatching reinforcements via passenger buses to border cities under Zetas' control, embarked on a campaign of terror. Male passengers on the buses, headed towards Reynosa and Matamoros near the U.S. border, were forcibly removed, interrogated, and given an ultimatum. Those deemed physically capable were offered a chance at survival if they could prove their worth by fighting other abducted passengers to the death with sledgehammers. For years, this story seemed too horrific to be true until mass graves were discovered in 2011. Authorities uncovered 48 graves containing the bodies of 193 people, most of whom had suffered fatal blunt force trauma. Many of the victims were identified as Central American migrants, individuals fleeing violence and poverty, only to meet a gruesome end at the hands of the Zetas. The terror wrought by the organization was so pervasive that bus companies, under the constant threat of gang violence, failed to report the alarming number of disappearances. It was only when unclaimed luggage began to accumulate in bus terminals at the border that the full extent of the abductions became apparent. The convictions and sentences handed down this week represent a significant, albeit belated, measure of justice for the victims and their families.